Hello, hello, hello. I am your host, OCL, and welcome back to One Century Later. Today, we'll be taking a look at all events from June 8th to June 14th, 1925. As with last week, all of my sources are in the description down below. Monday, June 8th, 1925. A coal mine in Sturgis, Kentucky exploded, killing 17 people. Also on this day, the Supreme Court rendered its verdict in the Gitlow v. New York court case. The court case surrounded a New York law that made it a crime to advocate for the violent overthrow of the government, and publications made by Benjamin Gitlow, which called for the establishment of socialism through proletariat uprisings. In a 7-2 decision, the Supreme Court upheld the New York law. In the majority opinion, Justice Edward Sanford wrote that the 14th Amendment extended the rights of the First Amendment, specifically the freedom of speech and of press, to the state governments. In the dissenting opinion, Justice Oliver Holmes wrote that there was no clear and present danger surrounding Gitlow's publications because the publications were abstract and there would be a very small minority of people who agreed with the views in the publications. Tuesday, June 9, 1925. A train derailed in Traveston, Queensland, Australia, killing 10 and injuring 48. Also on this day, a heat wave in the US, which had begun on June 1st, came to an end after killing an estimated 500 people. The heat wave reached temperatures of 104 degrees Fahrenheit in the American Midwest. Wednesday, June 10th, 1925. A bus crashed in Hebden, North Yorkshire, England, killing 7 and injuring 11. With worn-out front brakes and oily rear brakes, the bus was unable to slow down when going down a steep hill and ended up crashing into the Dibbles Bridge. Also on this day, the Methodist Church of Canada and the Congregational Union of Ontario and Quebec merged together to create the United Church of Canada. Thursday, June 11th, 1925. In Nova Scotia, Canada, 3,000 coal miners and their families went on strike against BESCO, the British Empire Steel and Coal Company. Terrible working conditions, terrible pay, and harassment by drunken BESCO employees led the coal miners to attack a group of 100 BESCO guards and police. The guards fired into the crowd, killing coal miner William Davis and injuring others. Friday, June 12th, 1925. The University of California, Los Angeles, then referred to as the Southern Branch of the University of California, awarded its first Bachelor's of Arts degrees to 128 students, of whom 98 were women. Saturday, June 13th, 1925. Charles Jenkins demonstrated the synchronized wireless transmission of images and sounds. Using a Nipkow disc, the silhouettes of a toy windmill were transmitted 5 miles from the Naval Radio Facility to Jenkins' laboratory in Washington, D.C. A Nipkow disc is a spinning disc using holes of specific diameter and thickness to encode information about the pictures. For this, Jenkins was granted U.S. Patent 1,544,156 for transmitting pictures over wireless on June 30th. Chicago mobster Mike Jenna was shot and killed in a shootout between the Jenna crime family and the Chicago police. The police responded to an attempted hit on the North Side gang by the Jenna crime family after the death of Angelo Jenna on May 27th. Sunday, June 14th, 1925. The Aristotle University of Thessaloniki was founded in Thessaloniki, Greece, under the legislation of Law 3341, 14-6-25. And that is all. See you next week for all events from Monday, June 15th, 1925 to Sunday, June 21st, 1925.